Welcome to another episode of Obscured Reality. Join your hosts, Mark and Stephanie, as they take you through a journey of the extraordinary, bizarre, and often frightening world of the unknown. Explore topics of the paranormal, UFOs, alien abduction, lost civilizations, mythical monsters, and other unexplained mysteries. Come along with us as we transcend into another dimension of obscured reality.
Welcome back to your mother's obscured reality again, Stevie. Mark, back at you. Stevie, how's it hanging again tonight?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, you heard it again from the source. It's never going to get better than that, folks. All right. All right, we're going to jump into it. You want to take any guesses for tonight?
Nope, let's just hop right into it.
No, it's something I mentioned recently. Let me take a drink. I mentioned in a previous episode Black Star Canyon. Does that ring a bell? No?
No.
So there's some mountains in Southern California, Orange County to be specific, Santiago Canyon. Many of you have heard or know of that. It is home to the infamous Cook's Corner. It used to be a biker bar. Now it's a biker bar that's not a biker bar, but kind of is. But not not in a gang way.
Biker bar type of sense.
Yeah, it's not what it used to be. I mean, it's the same place. Nothing's changed. Tons of bikes. But
Right.
I think back in the day it was more cruiser style bikes, maybe more of the bike clubs, even though a lot of them still hang out there, but it's not rowdy like it used to be.
Okay.
Many of you will know there was a recent shooting there. Had nothing to do with the bar itself or the type of place it is, or I should say was. But that shooting was a couple months ago. Some guy who owns a house somewhere out here, probably about 50 miles away, and owns a house in another state, which he's currently living at. Well, he was going through a divorce. His ex was out here, and he flew out here, somehow found out she'd be at Cook's Corner, went over there, walked inside, and started shooting, and he didn't get her, but he got everybody else, went outside, grabbed some more guns. Cop showed up, and let's just say we don't have to worry about him anymore. He's an ex-cop as well. Yeah. So, that's where Black Star Canyon is, back in there. You got to drive a little ways back, a few miles back from Cook's Corner.
Okay.
It's in the Santa Ana Mountains in Orange County, California. Okay. Black Star Canyon is said to be haunted.
Ooh.
Now, Stevie, you may remember I mentioned to you, I think on a show previously, someone mentioned something weird that went on in that general area. I drove over there one night to check it out, and on my way back, I went through the canyon. I decided to stop through Black Star Canyon, drive down the road. Tell me if this rings a bell. I started driving back on the road, and it was late, and I had seen a weird guy in old school, early whatever century style clothing, carrying a lantern. It was like straight out of a movie. Like, I was like, what the fuck? It was like 11:30 at night or something. And I was like, what? Like, am I seeing, like, no way. Am I seeing my first ghost? It was weird. And he was walking weird, and he looked like he was talking. And I drove back, and he had already crossed the dirt road, and he started fucking around with something in the dirt. And I was like, what on earth? I looked it up later, and I found out there's plenty of pictures of this guy. He does tours, ghost tours in Black Star Canyon.
Okay.
Do you remember me mentioning that to you?
Yes, I do now.
Okay. So that's where we're talking about. There is a ghost tour. This guy knows a lot of the history, so, I'd recommend it. I haven't done it, but I've heard good things. So the California historical landmark associated with the canyon refers to the village of Puhu, Puhu, with a little above the last U. I don't know what it's called. I can speak English. I can understand English, but that type of stuff, I'm like, yeah. So, what are we already hearing about? Indian tribes, right? Pooh.
Yes.
Okay. So Black Star Canyon is perhaps best known to historians as an important archaeological site, as much information concerning the daily lives of the Tongva Gabrielino people has been uncovered through studies of artifacts found there. It's known that many of the native Tongva people fled the mountains in the summer, searching not only for relief from heat, but also looking for acorns. It was their main source of food, and there's tons of oak trees out there, so they were aplenty. They think that settlement was inhabited for only part of the year, so kind of like I just said. The site of the settlement, it's now a California Historical Landmark, number 217, if you need to look that up. Indian settlements were very sporadic, as the grizzly bear population of the Santa Anas was comparatively high for such a small
Wow.
mountain range. So these are the Santa Ana Mountains we're talking about. And who knew? Well, probably a lot of you. There used to be grizzlies here. Yeah.
Did not know.
Interesting.
Did not
Grizzlies. Yeah.
Grizzlies.
So, Big Bear isn't far from here. Obviously, that probably got its name because it used to have bears.
Wow. Big bears in it.
Yeah.
Imagine
So
that.
the village of Puhu was a major residential area for the Tongva, and the other 2 out of 3 names, I'm not even going to try to fuck them up. Fuck it, I'll try. Akjakaman and Pyopmakwikum and the Serrano. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce those. I have no clue. In the area, and the site of a massacre in 1831. A massacre. Stevie loves massacres. She looks like she's battling a massacre in her head right now.
I am battling a massacre.
Sometimes it's late, guys. Sometimes we just don't get enough sleep. You never know. Get what you get.
Sometimes you get screamed at by customers, and then you turn around and have to do this afterwards.
Oh, you don't have to.
I mean, I do. I told you I would, and therefore I will.
Right.
But no, it's just like mentally exhausting just to be like, sure.
Yeah.
And still
Sounds
just
like...
be nice while they're just like,
oh, yeah.
And it's like,
yep, I remember those days. Reminds me of a Limp Bizkit song. How's it start out? It's just one of those days.
Everybody sucks, yeah.
Yeah, I said it, guys. Limp Bizkit.
They know. They definitely have worked retail before.
Well, according to a story recounted by early settler J.E. Judge Pleasance. So J.E. Pleasance, nicknamed Judge, a battle between American fur trappers led by William Wolfskill and a group of Tongva Indians. So 1831, the Native American massacre. Local ranchers had been terrorized by Shoshone horse thieves. So Shoshone were out there. I never knew that. William Wolfskill, a known mountain man, helped to track the bandits into the canyon and discovered them around a campfire with horse flesh. This tribe was big on horse flesh. He saw them with horse flesh and speculated it was human flesh. The ranchers overwhelmed the natives and massacred them before desecrating and leaving the remains.
Oh, God. It's the desecration part that...
It is. Oh, it's a good thing that's never happened in the past. Maybe a little too much. So after discovering coal deposits in the canyon, August Witt founded the Black Star Coal Mining Company in 1879, which obviously gave it its current name.
Yep.
Yeah. Mule teams hauled the cargo to Anaheim or Los Angeles by wagon. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. It's a good journey with no pavement and
especially
a bunch of hills
for
and heat.
Back in the day when it's all pulled by like horses or oxen.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. However, A survey was
However.
run of the mine in the late 1870s, previously thought to be operating on government land. It was found the land actually belonged to none other, folks. If you're from the area, you know and hate the name. It belonged to the Irvine Ranch. Surprise, surprise. Irvine Company, conglomerate down here, takes over everything. You pay for parking everywhere you go. We can accurately say most people don't care for the Irvine Company. The last a few years back, about 4 years or so ago, they tried to pass a thing to make the section of the freeway that goes through Irvine, the 405 freeway, folks, a toll. Just a section that goes through Irvine. Yeah. Yep. They tried.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
okay, is there cities that strapped for cash that they have to be doing shit like that?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Nope. So after losing quickly interest in the mine, James Irvine sold the operation back to its former owners, destroying any possibility of profit. The armed conflict of 1831 between trappers and Native Americans led to many urban legends stating the mine is haunted to this day.
I mean,
Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Black Star's been the site. Well, you're gonna see some stuff here in a minute that, well, you're gonna recognize, and you're gonna be There's no, we'll get there. So Black Star has been the site of multiple negative events in history and reportedly has been the site of various cult activities, cryptid sightings, and paranormal events. In tandem with documented evidence, some, if not all, members of the OC Ghosts and Legends team believe this to be one of the most haunted locations in all of Orange County and possibly all of Southern California. So we need to back up a sentence where we mentioned cult activities. What you call it for the cult scare back in the day?
Satanic Panic.
Yeah, Satanic Panic. Well, that's exactly all that is. There's no evidence of any cult activities going on back there. And some of these articles even make sure to mention there's no proof or evidence of that. But yeah, that was a thing. I remember hearing about that when I was much, much younger. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then decades later, I'm hearing, that was all BS. Like, there's, people just come up with these stories. So, which we're going to see again in a moment, and you're going to recognize this one.
Great.
So, June 24th, 2002, Nicholas and Glenn Anderson and a friend entered the Blue Light Mine in Silverado. So this is all part of Silverado Canyon.
Okay.
But the two brothers never made it out. Oxygen levels inside the mine were recorded at only 4%, while oxygen in the atmosphere is normally at 21%. So this was 2002. 2005, a 16-year-old girl was killed when rocks, mud, and earth hit a market and home in Silverado Canyon. This occurred near the station where lives were lost in the 1969 flood. So I don't believe I have that in here. However, I did read up on it a little bit. So apparently, there was a period. You're not going to believe this shit. Right there in the mountains here. There was a period of 1 full month where they averaged 7 inches of rain per day. It rained every single day.
That is hard.
Crazy.
That is a harsh rain. When did this happen?
Well,
19 when?
Well, I think this might be 1969. So this, what I'm reading right now, is talking about a flood in 1969. My guess is it's that same one. I could be wrong. I'm 99% positive it is the flood.
The flood.
30 days of rain, 7 inches a day. I mean,
insane.
fuck.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The good thing is, what's weird about that flood? It's all hills here. like the water goes down into the valley, which
Yeah.
is going down into Irvine and some other cities down there.
Mhm.
But
Not here.
it's like, geez, well, it's all hills. What flooded? Like, obviously, there's a shit ton of water coming down because, well,
Yeah.
there are the streams. There's some streams that go through there, and if it rains even for a couple hours one day, not even hard,
They tend
you
to
go down there.
overflow.
Well, you go down there, there'll just be water in it,
Mm.
and part of it goes underground. You can
Oh,
go
yeah,
up to
that's right, because you have the dry beds. Yeah.
Yeah, you go up, you drive up the trail, and you'll come to a part where you're always going to cross water
Mhm.
flowing down, and then you drive down the trail, back down, and you can see a little bit of water over here, whatever, and then kind
Yeah.
of curves around, and at some point it's just gone,
Yep.
just disappears right there
Sounds
in the canyon,
about right.
nowhere to go.
Just
Yep. So let's get into some stories here. We have Santiago Sam. Now, guys, I'm going to blow your minds on this first one already. I apologize, but let's hear about him first. Santiago Sam, Bigfoot Sasquatch of the Santa Ana Mountains, roughly 5 foot 2 inches with 20-inch footprints. Yeah, that doesn't add up at all because the size of the feet with the shortness of the body.
Oh,
And-
okay.
and
You
we've
threw me
always
off at the
heard-
5'2", and I was like, did
Right.
I hear that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We typically hear of alleged Bigfoot Sasquatch
6,
sightings
7
as
foot, yeah.
5'2" would be I
Baby.
don't even know what the correct term is nowadays. I don't really care. It'd be a midget of Bigfoots.
A mini squatch.
Yeah. 4 sightings by rangers. This is in the Black Star Canyon and other areas of Cleveland National Forest.
Interesting. A mini Sasquatch.
Well,
Sounds kind of cute.
don't get your hopes up yet because I have a picture of Santiago Sam. And I may have mentioned this in a previous show. You're not going to be too happy once you recognize what I'm showing you here. But let me go ahead and pull up the picture of Santiago Sam. And Stevie, I'm going to give you less than 3 seconds. Tell me the first thing you think once this pops up. Here it goes. It's more than 3 seconds.
What?
Does that picture look familiar to you? Stevie,
Yeah?
are you there? Click.
I
click.
am. Yes, hello. I'm just staring at it because at first my brain saw a weasel and I was like, what? And then I had to like re-look at it and I was like, oh, okay, it's bending over and picking something up. But look,
Does
don't
this
ask what
picture
my
look
brain.
familiar?
No.
You're kidding me.
I am. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You recall doing an episode on a particular Bigfoot? The episode was called the Allegheny, Pennsylvania Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's the picture from that. This is the picture from that trail cam in Pennsylvania that happened in the last 8 months or so. We did a show on it.
Yeah.
And everyone's claiming they didn't know what it was. And if you recall, some of the other pictures I had from this trail cam were of other animals that were caught on the trail cam as well. And this thing, in a way, kind of matches them. So this picture is what's being used as Santiago Sam. And I remember mentioning that at one point because this picture came up again, or it was during the Allegheny Bigfoot one. And I had found an article about Santiago Sam over here in the Orange County, Santa Ana Mountains. And they had this picture. I'm like, oh my God, like that's how quick and easily people just rip other things off and use it as their own and make up some bullshit stories.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, people, there's maybe some of you out there that believe that. Eat it up all you want. It's entertainment. I eat it up. But you cannot go believe every single thing you hear. This picture.
Look, Abraham Lincoln said everything on the internet is true. And if he said it was true, then it's true.
I heard it was George Washington that made that quote.
It was Abraham Lincoln.
I think George Washington was there with him when he made the quote.
I believe so as well. I believe they both left their John Hancocks on that.
Yeah. So Santiago Sam, that picture, that's complete bullshit. That picture's from a trail cam in Pennsylvania. And If you read up about Santiago Sam, what you'll really find is a lot of people saying, I've lived here for fucking years. I've lived back in the canyon. I've gone hiking, all this stuff. I've never once heard of this Santiago Sam. And honestly, guys, neither have I. That one is horse shite. We have
Horse
the
poop.
Black Star Waddlers,
Ooh,
or the Black Star Dwarves. Sighted
waddlers though.
Yeah. Well, not really bending at the joints and you waddle, you know. So they were sighted on January 23rd, 1995 by friends hunting in Black Star Canyon. Multiple sightings since 1995, although the name Black Star Waddlers has not always been referenced. Entities approximately 2 feet in height and dark in color with a notable waddle as they walked. Yeah, so, this is kind of like, these were a couple of hunters that saw them, right? So
Mhm.
this kind of reminds me of every Bigfoot story you've heard of where it's a hunter that saw the Bigfoot and, they didn't think to shoot one and bring it home to make gazillions of dollars and turn it over
Right.
to science,
Right,
Um,
right.
Now, there's nothing in here that says anything about these Black Star Waddlers or dwarves being something other than human. So obviously,
Right.
if they appear to be human, you don't want to shoot them, and you might not if they're not human, But yeah, just
True.
interesting because
I don't know.
they're kind of stating it as it's something odd. Well, so maybe there's a bunch of friends that hang out, they're dwarves or little people, midgets, whatever you call them,
Jesus
and a
Christ.
group of friends. Like I could see,
Mhm.
you're probably gonna have friends that are similar. Like what, they can't go for a fucking hike either, and all of a sudden this is weird as shit. I mean,
Right.
well, you laugh, but there's a community here in Long Beach, that was built, I believe, back when The Wizard of Oz was made, and these were all super tiny
Yes!
ass motherfucking homes for.
I remember this
Yeah,
for the
I'm
people
not.
who live.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
I
not
just-
making fun or anything.
I know,
Like,
I
it could be a fucking thing.
I just imagined a group of little people taking a hike
Yeah.
through a forest. That's all. And that's all.
Like, hey, which tree did you come out of? I'm
I
trying to talk like
kind of
Irish.
They're not all little leprechauns.
No.
Well, then don't give them Irish accents.
But see, this is something that's strange and unusual that's in the story, right? And it's like, well, why is this strange and unusual? Well, you're calling Black Star Waddlers. Okay, I'm interested. Or in parentheses, Black Star Dwarves. Oh, dwarves? So
7
they're
dwarves or some
humans
shit. The
that
Mines of Moria. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so they're fucking humans that didn't grow. Okay, like why is this now weird? That's what I'm saying. They're relating
People-
it as if it were something like fucking leprechauns or little fucking fairies walking
Yeah.
around. And that's not what it is. So
No.
it's like, well, why is this something weird?
Clickbait.
Yeah. So, and with this thing in Long Beach, depending when those homes were filled, like I could totally see. Of course, they're going to be friends. They live together. Like I could see a group of them going out and going for a hike. This isn't an
Right.
insane place to go hike. You can easily go hike it. So there's a guy on YouTube I watch once in a while. He does the stealth camping, where he goes camping in various spots throughout cities, like right there in public, and you don't see him. And
What?
yeah. Oh, look
That
up stealth.
sounds cool as fuck.
Yeah. And this one guy, he does it out in oh god, I forget the country. He's in a completely different country, but he has a friend who's a dwarf who goes with him. So they go hiking and shit.
I gotta find that one.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. We got Illuminati rituals. Never fucking heard of it, but let's see. Noted in, quote, The Truth About Freemasons, Illuminati, and New World Order, end quote, by SDS and CMW. An individual codenamed Pindar, member
Pindar.
of the Illuminati Brotherhood from the Alsace-Lorraine region of France, has been known to attend major satanic ceremonies in Europe and California. Beltane used to be celebrated in Trabuco Canyon. Beltane, whatever kind of
Beltane is basically May Day for pagans.
Okay.
However,
Oh, I'm glad you're here.
that's
I don't know.
The thing is, though,
Okay.
to have that like associated to the Illuminati is strange.
Well, let's see. So Beltane used to be celebrated in Trabuco Canyon, but urban sprawl led organizers to move the rites to Black Star Canyon. The Samhain ritual is noted to take place at a church in Long Beach. Who cares? Because that's not Black Star Canyon. And the Walpurgis ritual is noted to take place on Catalina Island. Again, who cares? That's not Black Star Canyon. However, maybe there's some type of correlation there. Some people that attend to all of them. I don't know. But yeah, Beltane, whatever the heck that is, Stevie just told you that used to be celebrated in Trabuco and Black Star Canyon. We have the Lady in White, an apparition of a woman in white, seen around corners on the trails and out of the corner of the eye. Some have stated that the woman is crying or visibly upset.
Hmm.
Are you seeing white women right now, Stevie? No. That one,
Just white sheep.
yeah. So if you're seeing a white woman out of the corner of your eye, that's your peripheral. That's most likely a trick of your brain.
Or it's my
saying.
cat chilling just out of my periph. Yeah, because she does that.
Yep.
She'll just like chill, just her little head within the peripherals of like my door frame. And it's just like sometimes I'm like, 'cause it freaks
Cats are
me
funny.
out. Cats are assholes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love her, but God
They can be.
damn.
Well, they're self-sufficient. They
Yeah, they
want their
are.
privacy, and they also want their love.
No, this cat has
But
no
only
idea
when they
what
want it.
privacy is. No idea about privacy. I
None
wake
at
up
all?
in the morning and she's like, "Hey, Mom,
Yeah.
guess what? It's time to feed me." Even though her
Yeah.
like automatic feeder has already fed her 40 minutes ago, she's like, "Hi, guess what? Food bowl's empty."
Next episode, Stevie's cat talks to her.
Look, that cat, she screams at me and screams at me, and based on what time it is during the day, I can usually assume what she wants.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Well, moving on, we have an abandoned school bus. It was in Black Star Canyon. It was removed in 2012, 2013 sometime. According to multiple sites and word of mouth, many believe that this school bus traveled the area daily and transported children between their homes and the local school. In the 70s, the bus driver lost control and the bus crashed within Black Star Canyon, killing everyone who was on board, including the children.
Well, I mean, that's usually everybody, since it's a school bus. So is this like confirmed that this happened?
Well, let's get there.
Oh.
Prior to its removal, individuals reported ghostly apparitions of children and handprints on the bus windows, seemingly trying to escape.
Why?
Although the bus is
I feel
gone,
like I've heard that.
Yeah, although the bus is gone, it's still believed that child spirits are present and their voices can still be heard by canyon visitors. You've probably heard it because it's probably very similar to other stories you've probably heard.
It's just the windows on the... Why?
Yeah. Why could that be? Well, the abandoned school bus legend is one of the most notorious to date OC ghosts and legends has ever found. Has never found official documented evidence of such an accident taking place. There was, however, an actual school bus abandoned in the canyon for many years. As is typical with canyons, you usually find at least one car crashed or just, hey, we're getting rid of it and trash it out there.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is go drive in a desolate place for an hour. You're gonna find one. Satanic cults. Satanic panic. Satanic rituals and cult activity have long been associated with Black Star Canyon, with many visitors reporting hooded figures and unexplained fires or lights. One individual and his friend reported stumbling across a ritual sacrifice where hooded figures were chanting. Once seen, they quickly left the park. However, they discovered a note at their vehicle advising them to leave and never come back. That's bullshit, because if they saw them over there chanting and they immediately said, "We're getting the fuck out," and they go straight back to their car, you're telling me these cultish people made it back to the car before them,
Right.
and had some paper and a pen and wrote a fucking no. Hikers reported satanic imagery, chalk pentagrams, Use candles, animal skulls, chalices, and bloody objects within Black Star Canyon. I mean, I'd be willing to bet. Um, well, not too far from there in Ortega Highway. Many of you know that, especially if you're a motorcyclist. Ortega Highway down here. You can go back to Ortega Falls, waterfalls. Literally, you can see them from the road, and you just park on the side and small hike in. When there's no water, you see all the graffiti, plenty of wieners, and plenty of pentagrams. Like I'm pretty sure I could go there any given time and find most of what was just listed. That doesn't mean something satanic's going on. It's people going and defacing property.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have the KKK and white supremacist activity. Rallies and Klan activity has been reported. Again, this is always just reported, never proven. It's been reported in Black Star Canyon with many sightings near the Indian village and other remaining structures. Some believe that lynchings and other racially charged incidents have taken place within the canyon, a large area where bodies and victims could easily be buried and or hidden from sight. Well, yeah, there's nothing out there. Now, I'll say this. Obviously, if you're the KKK, white supremacist groups, whatever, I guess in an area like that, I see them going in on a trail a little bit, but I don't really see them doing. I can't picture them doing a big hike. However, once you go there and park, I mean, you don't have to go far to be out of sight, and you could easily find some places in daylight, But I don't know. It has been recorded in right along the coast there in Huntington Beach for a long time that there was skinheads, white supremacist stuff walking around and stuff.
There's a difference. There's a difference between a true skinhead and a neo-Nazi. Just gotta point that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
A true skinhead actually wants to beat up the neo-Nazi.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you this from experience. I never once saw any of that. Now, not that I would have necessarily known, but I will tell you I've never seen or heard of any actual incidents involving anything like that. And I've seen plenty of people that are not Caucasian down there. And, if they're down there so much and this is really a thing, you'd think something would be happening.
Yeah.
I've never seen it or seen proof or evidence of it. It's always just been what appear to possibly be bullshit stories. I mean, there's got to be some truth to it. Started from somewhere, so there might be something.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever as big as I had heard. I never saw anything. Clearly, I'm Caucasian. Like, I mean, you would think maybe, but I was also very not strict, but I watched who I hung around with as well. So maybe I wouldn't have known. So UFOs, unidentified flying objects, have been seen on many occasions. The relatively quiet environment and open visibility provides a view of the sky that is unparalleled in many other parts of Orange County. Flashing lights, unexplained sounds, and fast-flying objects have all been reported. While planes are frequently flying overhead due to John Wayne Airport, many have noted the noticeable difference in their sightings. So, I got to point that out.
Yeah.
All of the area right there is under major flight paths, and a lot of them are international, but coming in from Hawaii or going to Hawaii. A lot of them are turnarounds from the airports right there, Long Beach, LAX, and John Wayne. They take off over the ocean on most days.
Yeah.
And depending where they're going, every time I've left there.
Around. Yeah, every time I've ever flown out of LAX, I've always gone out towards the ocean and come back around. And it's always been a south flight, like turn around to the south. Because I've always made a point to look, not necessarily for your mom's place, but like the general area that it was.
Yeah.
I'd always look for the landmarks, like in the
same here.
way. Yeah. So yes, there definitely flights over that way. So yeah.
So that's the point I was going to make as well. Every time I've flown out of John Wayne and we've taken off over the water, which has been every time, it always takes off over the water and makes a left turn,
Yep.
a left U-turn,
Yep.
those come directly over the area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very heavy for incoming traffic to John Wayne. A lot of the incoming traffic comes over the Santa Ana Mountains, just on the other side by Riverside County,
Mhm.
and flies over just to about Anaheim, right where the hills start going down, guys. Right before the 55 freeway is where those planes are making their last left turn, going on to final approach to John Wayne. Um, I mean, you can literally sit outside from most houses here and watch, and you can see them flying, coming into John Wayne once they've turned to make the final. So I will say I am once in a while in contact with someone who themselves have reported seeing odd lights over there at night,
Mm-hmm.
and made a point to state that those lights were not coming from the mountain, meaning there's trails you can drive up that mountain to the very top antenna stations. I've done it myself.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are still out there at night with Jeeps with all their lights and shit on them, and you can definitely see them down there because
Mm-hmm.
they're very bright lights. You see them up on the
Yeah.
side of the mountain slowly going along. Well, I mean,
No, I know what you're talking
people
about.
mistake.
Yeah.
People don't use common sense.
No.
People see that and they know
Mhm.
there's a fucking mountain there, and they're like, "What's the light on the mountain? Ooh, it's
Yeah.
a UFO." No,
Yeah.
UFOs aren't four wheels.
It took me forever to figure out that this like set of lights on the mountains that was south of me when I was living up in El Mirage was a freaking ski like place. Like I had no idea because obviously it wasn't there when I had moved out there. So all of a sudden like these lights would show up on the mountain and I'm like, what the fuck are these lights? It's a goddamn ski
Yeah.
resort, Stephanie.
Yep. Well, I will say,
At least I figured my
I-
lights out.
yeah, I know someone that's said they've seen some weird stuff. There's some other people on a social media app that have mentioned seeing some odd things in the area. I myself live semi close. I have seen at least
Mhm.
one thing 100% I cannot explain. I've thought about every solution and I can't do it. It's in the area. So, I definitely will contribute a good possibility to that one.
Mhm.
However, you do have a lot of aircraft, and not all aircraft turn on their whatever you
Landing
call them,
lights.
the flashing lights,
Oh, really?
like military.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah. You're right.
there's military south of Orange County, Camp Pendleton. You have San Diego. You have some stuff northeast of
Yeah.
here. And they do fly back and forth. I've heard the helicopters before and seen them in the sky, and I saw their lights turn off, and they only had one white light on. There was two of them, and they both turned them off.
Mhm.
Pitch
Yeah,
black.
that makes
So
sense
they
because
do it.
I was by the Air Force Base up in North LA County. So, yeah. Man, it's creepy
Yeah.
to hear one of them big C-100s, like the actual like aircraft carrier, like the big fuckers. Like they fly very
C1.
very slow and
Yeah.
they are very silent. So when you do realize one of those is passing over you with no lights on late at night, you're just like, holy fuck, because it's almost like this silent black mass. Like you can hear
Yeah.
it simply because it's an airplane. But they got those planes are ungodly quiet for how big they are. And it's just like,
Yeah. So the C-130s might be quiet for their size until you hear them use the specialized little jets they have mounted on the sides for ridiculously short takeoffs. Have you seen that?
I have. I think
Those
it's kinda
jet pods
cool.
they have on the sides mounted
Mhm.
on an angle, and those things go off. I saw that
Mhm.
once at an air show when I was a kid. Oh my God.
I mean, how do you
when
think you're
those
going to get
things,
something like that going?
yeah, when those things turned on, man, shit. Good luck hearing anything for an hour,
Mhm.
man. It was loud as fuck. So,
how else
UFOs
do you
are-
expect to get a fucking behemoth like that up and running quick enough to get off of a fucking standard runway?
Well, it's for very short takeoff. So think
Yeah.
if you're like you go in the Middle East and you got this airport we're going to use, but
yeah.
their runways are way too short.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
well,
definitely.
here we go.
Not only that,
You
but
know?
like just even on a standard fucking runway,
Yeah.
that thing is probably hard to like truly get off the
Yeah.
ground
Yeah.
fully loaded.
Well, let's move on to the
Mm.
last one here. We have the Vortex. This is now skeptical. This is theorized and coined by the OC Ghosts and Legends group. So, there's
Okay.
no talk of vortex or anything like that
Right.
prior to them. And they come along and, it's not, I'd hate to say it, but because they keep popping up and all that stuff, it almost just sounds like they're just trying to make a name for themselves. Let's throw some new ideas and theories on there and just put them out there.
Yeah.
And maybe they have a real reason for thinking that. I mean, you got to remember, this is Indian land,
Hmm.
right? So we already know just from Skinwalker Ranch that ancient Indian writings on the rocks and stuff out there, it indicates that they believed there were portals.
Hmm.
So I also wouldn't be surprised, a portion of Black Star Canyon Trail known for intense energy and frequent paranormal activity. Electronic voice phenomena, or EVPs, disembodied voices, unexplained sounds, rock throwing, and apparitions have all been reported and documented within this space. Some theorize a vortex may have been created in this space by multiple negative events of large scale, creating a tear of a rift in time and space, or across dimensions, or an opening or a portal of sorts brought on by various environmental factors in the immediate area. I will tell you,
Okay, Doctor
um,
Strange.
well, if portals are a thing or could be a thing, with things like UFOs and whatnot, um, areas like mountains have been a long time thing
Oh
associated with
yeah.
that, and especially with specific types of rock underground. And I forget what it was. I want to say maybe shale. I could be wrong, but there was one where there might be some electrical properties to it.
Okay.
And that has been a long time thing. So, if portals are wind up being a real thing, which looking at Skinwalker Ranch, I mean, it's almost looking like it might be a possibility.
Hmm.
I wouldn't doubt it simply because it's the mountain range, and you always hear of UFO sightings. There is a
True.
lake in there. Irvine Lake is in there, even though it's probably not actually technically Irvine. Imagine that. So yeah, I don't know.
All
What you
right.
think, Stevie? You'll probably never
Uh,
go to Black Star Canyon, but
I mean, I probably would if I had the chance. I find it interesting. I'd like to go check it out myself. There's a lot of alleged stuff, like you said,
yeah,
but again, I mean, I really feel like the land absorbs energy, and from there attracts. I've
yeah,
always said that. I truly still believe that, and considering everything that's happened out there, some of it, yeah, I could totally believe some of these things, but
yeah.
the whole like satanic ritual thing. I mean, I'm sure it
No,
doesn't happen as often as people say, and I'm sure the skulls that they found were like something that the kids
people don't know
found
what they're looking
scavenging.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't know what they're looking at. I go out there and find a skull right now. I'm not gonna. I mean,
Satanic.
I have common sense. I can tell it's a
Congratulations,
human
you
or
have a
not,
gift
right?
you have a gift
Right.
most people don't.
Yeah, but I'm not going
Yeah.
to be able to be like, oh no, 100%. That's definitely human, and that was satanic. I mean, it
Hmm.
doesn't mean anything,
Yeah.
other than you found a fucking bone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was all satanic panic bullshit. Is all that was.
I know it really was. But like, I don't know. I think the land holds energy and attracts what the energy.
Yeah.
So, with the fighting and the Indians, and I'm sure
Yep.
between the I don't want to say it, but the settlers, the white people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there was a lot of like obviously shit that went on there, and California in itself has a pretty traumatic history as a state. So
Yeah.
So yeah, is there something going on? Probably. Is it paranormal? There was not enough like research or devices
No.
to properly say, "Here's your evidence."
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
gotta say, a lot of them say, "Oh, it's strange noises and this and that."
yeah.
I gotta tell you, from someone who used to go camping a lot,
The
the
world is full of
second
strange noises.
the second you lay down in your tent and everything becomes quiet, a
Creepy.
little fucking ant taking a shit sounds like a bear walking 2 feet away from your fucking tent.
Yeah.
You hear a little mouse scurry in the bushes. You're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck was that?
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
like, well, it's this little goddamn mouse,
Oh yeah.
I mean, It's how it works.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, if you ever get your ass out here before I'm unable to walk, we'll go for a hike in Blackstar.
I believe we were supposed to talk about springtime with that.
When you get your ass out here, let me know. We'll go for a day hike in Blackstar. We'll record the shit.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
record it.
yeah. That's fine because you already know we've talked about it. So that would be
Yeah.
a great little reprise. There we go. From
Yeah. Yep. Let me
travel
know in
companions.
advance. Let me know in advance. I'll take a
Oh,
day
you'll
off.
know. You'll know way in advance.
And I'll do a little bit of research on trails and where we want to go and see what kind of hike we're looking at to maybe get back where the old mines were and where the settlement was.
Yeah.
And we'll do some of our own EVPs without an EVP device.
It's really just a fucking tape recorder. I'm sure we'll be fine. But yeah, I'm down. I'll be out
I
there
don't think
sometime
they have
in
tape
spring.
Recorders anymore. Just
They fuck off. They still exist. They still exist.
Oh.
And then also, I would like to get a spirit box as well, the type that like cycles through the white noise, just for shits and giggles.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Pull a Zach Bagans. You never know.
I'm gonna have to look up spirit boxes later, see what they cost. If they sell them, well, they gotta sell. Someone's gotta sell them.
Oh, they definitely sell them.
All right. Well, that is tonight's show, guys. Black Star Canyon in Orange County, California. If you haven't been there, I'm sorry. If you're gonna go there, have fun. Do it when it's not hot out.
Also, if you do go to Black Star and you do experience something, please email us your story at obscuredr1@gmail.com. We would love to hear your stories, even if it's not a Black Star canon of UAPs, anything strange or unusual that you have experienced, any Bigfoot stories, send them to us. You can be on the show, you can read your stories, or you could have us read them for you anonymously. It's totally up to you.
Make sure you type story in the subject line as well. And before you do that, hit like and subscribe, especially subscribe.
Yes.
But guys, hey, we're waiting to interact with you. There's a comment section. Go ahead and use it because, there's nothing we like to do more at work than take a little breaks here and there and comment.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it. We are going to catch you guys on the next one, probably having to do with recent UFO events. Oh, peace out, pussy.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check back with us often for new episodes. Feel free to drop a comment and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Obscured Reality.